Hello my dear students. In previous video, we learned about life processes, type of nutrition and nutrition in plants by the process of photosynthesis. Our today's topic is nutrition in human beings. Human beings are omnivores in nature. Means they take plant and animal and their products as food. The nutrition in human beings takes place by the process of digestion. What is digestion? We can define it as it is the process in which complex food material is broken down into simpler substances with the help of enzymes. Digestion is carried out with the help of digestive system. The human digestive system consists of organs such as mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. These organs together forms alimentary canal. So, alimentary canal is the long tube extending from mouth to anus. So, the long tube which extends from mouth to anus is called as alimentary canal. So, this is the alimentary canal of human being, which extend from mouth, then esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus, appendix. Human digestive system also contains accessory glands. There are 3 accessory glands in human digestive system: salivary glands, liver and pancreas. Students, in previous video we learned about holozoic mode of nutrition. Nutrition in human being is also holozoic nutrition. It includes various steps such as ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. Human beings have special organ for the ingestion of food. It is called mouth. Mouth is bounded by upper and lower lips and food is put into mouth with the help of hands. Next step is digestion. Digestion of food starts as soon as we put food in our mouth. The mouth cavity is also called as buccal cavity, contains teeth, tongue and salivary glands. Here we can see this cavity is called as mouth cavity, which is having teeth, tongue and these 3 are salivary glands present in the buccal cavity. See, teeth cut food into small pieces, chew and grind it, and so teeth helps in physical digestion. Then salivary glands present in our mouth produce saliva, which mix with the food while it is being chewed. The saliva contains enzyme salivary amylase, which breaks down the starch, which is a complex carbohydrate, into simple sugar called glucose. So, saliva secretes salivary amylase, which help for the digestion of starch in mouth. Students, have you observed if you chew chapati or bread for longer time, it tastes sweet, because as bread or chapati chewed for longer time in our mouth, saliva mixes in it and salivary amylase convert starch present in that bread or chapati into simple sugar, that is glucose, and so it produces sweet taste in our mouth. Then the tongue helps in mixing the food with the saliva and pushes the food down during swallowing. The slightly digested food in the mouth is swallowed by the tongue into common passage for both respiratory and digestive tract, and that common passage is called as pharynx. So, this is the common passage, pharynx and epiglottis. It is a valve which is present there. Pharynx contract to push food into esophagus or food pipe. Esophagus is also called as food pipe. At this time, the valve called epiglottis covering the windpipe closes. So, at this time, as the food is entered into the pharynx, this epiglottis covers the windpipe. so that food cannot enter into the windpipe. So it closes the windpipe or respiratory tract. This prevents food from entering into the respiratory tract. And food is passed into a tube-like structure called esophagus. The esophagus is lined with muscles that contract and relax rhythmically in order to push food forward. That rhythmic contraction and relaxation of muscles of esophagus is called as, that movement is called as peristaltic movement. It occurs all along the gut. The epithelial cell of esophagus also secretes mucus which lubricate the food. This also helps in moving food forward. See, mucus means a jelly-like substance. So, epithelial cells present in esophagus helps in lubrication and so that food can easily pass forward. The peristaltic movement pushes the food into stomach. So, this is mouth and esophagus, how it helps in the digestion. Partial digestion starts in the mouth with the help of salivary amylase. Then stomach. Stomach is a J-shaped organ present in left side of abdomen. Stomach wall contains gastric glands. See, stomach is J-shaped organ and it is the large organ which expands when food enters in it. The food entered in stomach and churn for about 3 hours. During this time, the food breaks down into still smaller pieces and forms a semi-solid paste. So, during that 3 hours, food is churned into very small pieces and it is formed into the semi-solid paste. The stomach wall contains tubular glands. These glands secrete gastric juice and so called as gastric gland. Gastric juice contains hydrochloric acid, 0.5% HCl means 0.5% hydrochloric acid, protein digesting enzyme pepsin and mucus. Hydrochloric acid creates an acidic medium for the action of enzyme pepsin. See, pepsin can efficiently act on the food or pepsin is a protein digesting enzyme. It can efficiently work, it can efficiently digest protein in acidic condition and for that this gastric gland secretes 0.5% HCl. It also kills bacteria present in food. Then the enzyme pepsin begins the digestion of proteins present in food to form smaller molecules. We can say the starch digestion begins in mouth and the protein digestion begins in stomach. So, the protein digestion begins in the stomach. Mucus provides protection to inner lining of stomach from the action of acid under normal condition. So, the stomach lining should not get damaged due to secretion of HCl and for that the mucus is secreted which protects these smooth inner lining of stomach from the HCl. Then the partially digested food then goes from stomach into small intestine. Exit of food from stomach is regulated by sphincter muscles which releases food in small amount into small intestine. Small intestine is the largest part of alimentary canal which is fitted into compact space because it is highly coiled structure. So, it is largest part of our alimentary canal but it is present in very small space. It has occupied very small space because it is highly coiled structure. The length of small intestine differs in various animals depending on food they eat. Herbivores eating grass need longer small intestine to digest cellulose. Meat is easier to digest, so carnivores have shorter small intestine. Students, small intestine of cow is 40 meter long and length of small intestine in an adult human being is 6.5 meter. Small intestine receives the secretion of two glands, that is liver and pancreas. Liver is the largest gland of our body and pancreas is the second largest gland. Bile juice from liver, pancreatic juice from pancreas. Wall of small intestine contains intestinal glands which secretes intestinal juice. So, the small intestine is the site of complete digestion of carbohydrate, proteins and fats. It helps in digestion and absorption of nutrients also. See, food coming from stomach is acidic in nature. It has to be made alkaline for the action of pancreatic enzymes. So the enzymes which are secreted by pancreas, that enzymes require alkaline medium. And so to create this alkaline medium, liver secretes bile, which is a greenish yellow alkaline liquid stored in gallbladder. See, this is liver which secretes greenish yellow color alkaline liquid. This is called as gallbladder. So that secreted bile is stored in the gallbladder, and this makes intestinal pH alkaline for the action of pancreatic enzymes to digest fats and carbohydrates. Bile helps in breaking down fats present in food. See, in small intestine, fats are present in the form of large globules, which makes it difficult for enzyme to act on them. So, bile salt break them down into smaller globules, and so that enzyme can act on them efficiently. Means bile helps enzymes to digest fat easily. This another gland is pancreas. So, this is pancreas. Pancreas secrete pancreatic juice into the small intestine, which contains enzymes such as trypsin for digesting protein, pancreatic amylase for digestion of carbohydrate, lipase for breaking down fats. So, and this is a common duct. This is common duct by which the secretion of pancreas and enzyme is poured into the small intestine. So this is the small intestine. The secretion of liver and pancreas is poured in the small intestine. With that, the walls of small intestine contains glands which secrete intestinal juice. The intestinal juice contains number of enzymes which helps in complete digestion of food. The enzymes in intestinal juice convert proteins to amino acid, starch to glucose, and fats into fatty acids and glycerols. So here complete digestion of food takes place with the help of secretion from pancreas, from liver and from the intestinal glands. Next step of human digestion is absorption. See, till now we have learned about digestion in small intestine. Now we will understand how absorption takes place in small intestine. Small intestine is the main region for the absorption of digested food. After digestion, molecule of food become very small. It is taken up by walls of intestine. The inner lining of small intestine has millions of tiny finger-like projections called villi. Villi increases the surface area for absorption of digested food. So, villi are richly supplied with the blood vessels which absorb food in the blood of the body. This is the figure of villi. Millions of villi are present in our small intestine, in the walls of small intestine, and that villi are supplied with the blood capillaries for the efficient absorption of the digested food. From the blood, digested food is carried to each and every cell of the body, where it is utilized for obtaining energy and for growth and repair of body. The digested food which is not used by our body immediately stored in the liver in the form of carbohydrate called glycogen, which stored glycogen this stored glycogen can be used as a source of energy by the body when required. So in photosynthesis we learn that reserve food is stored in the form of starch. Same here, in human beings the reserve food, digested food which is not used, is stored in the form of glycogen and it is stored in the liver. Next step is digestion. Undigested food sent in large intestine. As it moves along the large intestine, the villi within it absorb water. So undigested food become almost solid. Last part of large intestine is the rectum. It stores the undigested food for some time. Then undigested food thrown out through the anus. The act of expelling feces is called digestion. So this is all steps of nutrition in human beings. This is small intestine. This inner part is small intestine. This outer part which is wider, it is large intestine, rectum and anus.
Digestion is a process in which complex food material is broken down into simpler substances. The digestion of food in humans takes place in the alimentary canal, which is a long tube extending from the mouth to the anus. The different parts of the alimentary canal are buccal cavity, food pipe or esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. Two glands, namely liver and pancreas, also help in digestion. The food is taken in through the mouth. It is chewed and mixed with saliva in the buccal cavity. Saliva is a digestive juice secreted by the salivary glands. The chewed food enters into the food pipe or esophagus and is then slowly pushed into a bag-like structure called stomach. The food is churned in the stomach to further break it down. The stomach also secretes mucus, digestive juices, and hydrochloric acid. The hydrochloric acid kills the bacteria in the food and makes the food acidic. The food then goes into a highly coiled tube called small intestine. The small intestine receives secretions from the liver and pancreas. The liver secretes bile juice, while the pancreas secretes pancreatic juice. The walls of the small intestine also secrete juices which help in further digestion of food. The inner surface of the small intestine has finger-like projections called villi. The villi have extensive network of blood vessels. The digested food is then passed into the blood vessels. The undigested food is passed into the large intestine. It is wider than the small intestine. Excess of water and salts are absorbed here, and undigested waste is passed out of the body through the anus.
Students, I hope you understood the digestion in human beings. In next video, we will learn about the next life process, that is respiration. Thank you and have a nice day.